Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Kova, and welcome back to some more transfer gossip. Obviously, again, it's every few days, so it will take its time before it builds up even more. So we are starting off with Joe Hart, obviously on loan at Torino at the moment. It is a season-long loan deal, but he is set to be approached by Chelsea. I don't know if that'll be like midway through his loan spell or at the end, but Chelsea are interested in taking Joe Hart off Manchester City's hands, which I do find quite interesting. I may spell the end of Courtois for Chelsea. Next up is Hector Bellerin, obviously a great player, one of the Prem's outstanding players for me. He's set to be offered a new deal from Arsenal to ward off interest that he's getting from Barca and also Manchester City as well for their right-back position. Arsenal obviously want to keep hold of him. Next up is Darmian. He's a right-back that may be leaving the Premier League with Inter Milan. They are set to try and get him next year. The Inter Milan president has come out and said he wants to get Darmian to the club next year, which means that, it kind of spells the end of his time where he is now, which is obviously at Manchester United. Next up is Di Sciglio. He is obviously going to be linked with Chelsea quite a lot. An Italian defender is always going to get linked with Chelsea. However, the interesting one is that he may go to Chelsea with Fabregas going the other way. He may go to AC Milan, which is something I do find quite interesting on that one. Is that, he might end up playing a role in a swap deal. Next up, the big one for me is KONDOGBIA. He is apparently not wanted by Inter Milan anymore, or he's out of favour by the manager. Doesn't play in the Europa League games that they have either because they couldn't fill out their squad properly or something like that. They couldn't fill out the full set. But Liverpool are set to take him on loan till the end of the season, which is an interesting one. Obviously Liverpool have got quite a lot of midfielders, let's be honest. They're playing Lallana as a centre mid, Wijnaldum's a centre mid. Obviously got like Lucas and a few youngsters coming through. So to take KONDOGBIA would be an interesting one. He is obviously a holding midfielder, and I don't know whether it's actually needed the way Liverpool are playing currently. Next up is Rakitic. Now, it's been revealed that Real Madrid tried to get Rakitic from Barcelona. They are apparent admirers of him. He's obviously an attacking midfielder, although he's classified as CDM on this. But, yeah, they made a move for him, and it didn't turn out well, with Barcelona just rejecting it out of hand. Next up is Guedes. He's a young Benfica winger, and he's attracting interest from Manchester United. Obviously, it's kind of a comparison to Cristiano Ronaldo. Another player Manchester United are interested in is Leon Bailey. He is a youngster, currently playing for Genk, I believe. And he's impressing United after scoring 5 goals. Apparently, they had scouts watching him. Andre Silva is another Portuguese player who are getting interest from the Premier League, with Arsenal have sent scouts to watch the Porto youngster. Next up is a bit of a strange one. This is Ricardo Alvarez. Obviously, he played for Sunderland for a little bit, and I think he ended up, his contract ended up getting finished with, I think, Inter Milan at the time. And basically, it was a dispute with Sunderland. Apparently, Sunderland would have had to pay to keep Alvarez, but didn't, although they should have, or something along those lines. And Sunderland apparently will have to pay 10 million if the court decides that they were in the wrong. He's a Sampdoria player now, doesn't actually play for Inter or Sunderland, but Sunderland will have to pay Inter Milan £10 million. Next up is Isco. He is interesting in both Arsenal and Tottenham. Both of those clubs are obviously big rivals, and they're going to head into a bit of a rivalry for Isco. Next up is Lynn Dolph. He's a centre-back from Sweden who currently plays for Benfica, and PSG see him as the long-term David Luiz replacement, and also the long-term partnership for Marquinhos. Mascherano is next up. He is still wanted by different clubs in China. Obviously, he's getting into a bit of trouble with taxes in Spain, and obviously Barcelona are also looking for a brand new centre-back to partner PK. Could spell the end of Mascherano's time at Barcelona. Next up is De Vrij. He is a Lazio player, obviously, as we know. He just recently signed a new deal, which has a 30 million release clause. However, that's not going to stop Chelsea, who could still make a move for the centre-back. Next up is Schürrle. He is a German centre-back, which was recently linked with Liverpool. However, that didn't turn out. Everton have apparently joined the race for the Hoffenheim centre-back. And finally, we end on Oscar Di Marcos. He is a right-back, a really pacey beast of a right-back. And Chelsea want to offer Di Marcos a contract. However, Athletic Bilbao are reluctant on even letting them discuss terms with him, because obviously he will become a free agent, I believe. and they have said he will have to pay his release clause, which I think is like £40 million. So guys, that is all our rumours for like the past few days. A few interesting ones. KONDOGBIA is really interesting for me, and obviously Isco would be a huge plus into the Prem. But if you did enjoy, make sure you do drop a like, and I shall see you in the next video.